You say you're nervous, but you really don't look nervous. So I almost don't
I think
believe
it's
you.
I think it's because I'm a professional. So like, this is what you do. Like I'm on, but I'm not because I'm still myself. I feel like I'm. This is basically me. I mean, you guys know me, right?
Yeah.
So personally, so this is how I am.
Yeah.
But it's just a little different. I don't know how to
I
explain it.
know
You
what you
just
mean.
watch what you say, every little word, every little
Yeah.
thing. You
Yeah.
want to piss people off. Funny thing is, though, is now since I've retired from music, I don't really give a fuck anymore because there's like this disassociation between ego and caring what others people think. And then when you actually leave the shit behind, you realize a lot of things. One, you don't really exist. You're just a form of entertainment for people. They don't really view you as a human being. So when they say nice things, fucked up things, whatever, it's more about this persona and not really you personally. And when you step away from that limelight and that, part of the industry, it allows you to take that so easy. Like there was this dude, do you guys know Anthony Fantano? He's
Yeah,
a
of
The
course.
melon.
Yep, the melon. So he like is really great at what he does, but he would review my music ever since my mixtapes, and it would always like fuck me up because he would always basically say how I wasn't like good enough. You know what I mean? Like, well, this isn't this and this isn't that and da da da. Mind you, he wasn't just totally shitting on me. He would give me like credit. Like if something's good, he would say it's good. Mind you, it's just his opinion, right? But I find it really funny that after I announced my retirement and stepped away, now me and this dude like text each other and shit. Now he's like, I consider him like a buddy. Like I'll text him about fun shit like video games or music, and we just talk. And everything he could have ever said about logic doesn't matter. And having that sense of freedom is something that's actually really beautiful. But I think it's kind of also ironic that when I'm like, all right, fuck it, I really actually don't care. I mean, I care. I don't care 98%. There's still that 2% as a creative that cares what people say about you, right? You can never fully do it. But it's just, I find it funny that now that I don't need that acceptance, this album's doing great and everybody loves it.
Yeah,
It's kind of funny how that works, right?
Totally thinking about that. It's just
So
so funny. I mean, yeah, should we talk about?
Well, even Melon gave you a good review. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was really happy for you that because
I've seen
he's been brutal in the
his
past, to be
reviews
honest.
when it's negative, and
Yeah.
I've thought about it's got to be so hard to be the artist that is being criticized because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if it's not good, it's still a person, and like just to have to hear your work being criticized
Yeah,
in such
it's
detail,
painful.
it's gotta be so painful.
But the funny thing is like not good to who, right?
Well,
'Cause
yeah,
Alan
clearly
Watts said anything you can be interested in, you'll find others who are. So it's like,
Yeah.
I actually, so I did this soundtrack for my book, right? And I just had fun. And if you really listen to it, it's just all songs that I wrote while I was falling in love with my wife. You know what I mean? The woman of my, that gave birth to my child. So it's like, it's all from the heart. And I've met people that are like, oh my God, that's my favorite album of yours because I was falling in love at the same time or this or that. And then there's other people who just hate it. But it's like, what is that? It's subjective. But I believe even the great Melon also knows that, and that's why I love that in all his videos, it's always, this is just my opinion, right? Which I think is really important. But bro, yeah, he's torn me up, but he's also shown me a lot of love. But it's also when you are that artist, it feels like the whole world is on you. Everything is you. But it's like, dude, he like destroyed Chance the Rapper. Like he's destroyed Drake. He's destroyed so many artists before, and it's just like, I don't know. It's kind of entertaining.
Well, it sucks to be involved. It's like the drama, the YouTube drama. It's great to watch. It's horrible to be involved in, and I can say that from my side many times. But from the creative, I have that same reaction too. It's like it's just so painful at times to get that feedback, but like and to know like, oh, they don't hate me, right? They don't. It's hard to separate that and know like, oh, they don't hate me. I'm not a bad person because I made an album that they don't like. It's weird to have to say that, but you feel like a bad person when.
I've been on Madison Square Garden, sold out, everyone there to see me, and then you feel like a failure because like my last album before this one, Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, a lot of people said that they like hated it because it was just a bunch of turn up music for the most part. It was just me like just rapping to rap and just like kind of having fun and not really overthinking it. And then people were like, you can't do this. Like you're Logic. Like you can't rap this way. Like you have to be lyrical miracle guy and all this shit. So then they were like, this sucks. This is terrible. Mind you, the people that said that, it's just such a small sect of people on the internet in a cove of, you know, this like loud minority, because I'm like, okay, you can say those things, but I just sold out the garden. Do you know what I mean? Like I just sold out an arena of people who are screaming lyrics to the song that you don't like because it's very popular. So knowing that and being in it is very difficult. Now being on the other side of it, it's like, who gives it? It doesn't fucking matter. I made a bunch of money and had a blast. What's wrong with that? You know, but it is funny to see. There's two sides of it, right? Because I'm like Bobby Tarantino. I make my trap music and all this other shit. And then there's a fan base. There's a part of my fan base that goes, no, we like the super hip hop shit. Don't do this. But when I do the super hip hop shit, the people who want the turn up shit go, what are you doing? We want the turn up shit. And then when I make some indie rock shit and I'm having fun, everybody's like, what the fuck are you doing? But I step back and I'm happy to know I'm not in a box and I'm not making the same song and the same album over and over again. I'm actually trying different shit, and because of it, I'm happier. And now I look at my career, it's about 14 or 15 projects, full-length projects in a row, sometime once a year, every year, sometimes twice a year, for the last 10 years now, 11 years, and I have no regrets. Yeah, and that's important.
Yeah, I feel like the big theme of the album was just all these people tearing you in different directions, and everyone's expectation of you, how you should be this way, you should be this way. Your old stuff was the good shit, and now you had that line, your new stuff's not the old. What was it? Oh, fuck me.
Your new shit's not as good as your old shit, so your new shit is your old shit.
Yeah, I love that. You know, even as a YouTube creator, I get that too.
I know.
I've
seen it. It's like hilarious. Like you've even done videos on it. Like but it's what it comes down to also is it's the time in someone's life, and it's also relatability. So when you and Hila were like fucking, did you guys do videos in Israel?
Yeah. That's how we
So
started.
like when you're there, it was like, oh my God, who are these people? And then when you make the move to the States, like you're like kind of coming up and things are different or whatever, it's like, we're coming up. Wow, we're watching these people we love. They're going from an apartment to a house. Oh my God, they're going to a house with 2 bedrooms to 4 bedrooms. Oh my God. And then you like are in a mansion and have your own fucking clothing company and you become a millionaire, and they're like, not the same,
These
man.
people are out of touch.
Yeah.
That's what we get now all the time. They're so out of touch.
they rooting for you only to a point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's also
But
fine.
to speak generally, because like you pointed out, there are tons of fans who still wish and support us and wish the best for us. So it's the loud minority that always just is like gets in your head. And it's a shame, but it's just
because
human nature.
I think it's like the jungle. Like if you're on the African plain or something, right? Say, and you walk out from the brush, only a fucking idiot looks at the sky and goes, "Wow, it's so blue." You're getting out of that brush and you're looking for lions immediately, because that's what we are designed to do as human beings, to make sure that everything is okay before we can then look to the sky. So I think like genetically, like
there you go.
It's in us to look at the negative, on the internet or whatever.
That's so fucked up, but it's true.
It's so true. I can't, you just can't not look at it.
But it's so
as much
fucked
as you
up
try.
because like it sucks so bad to give those people the attention.
It does.
When like the good, kind-hearted, wholesome people that love you and want to support you, you kind of look past them because you're trying to identify the lions in your analogy. And these people are just they don't deserve your attention. You know what I mean?
But I think it's also. What's it called? Imposter syndrome. Like I think a lot of creative people have that, where it's like you almost feel like a fraud.
I was just gonna say that.
So yeah, right. It's like, so when you see these
like
things,
even
you feel that
now
way.
with Teddy Fresh, I get to have that feeling whenever there's something a little like it's you feel like a fraud.
Yeah, even though you're not, it's like you feel like you don't belong. You feel like, oh, I couldn't have done that. Like literally, I'm like, oh, what? Like I went platinum. What the fuck? Like, what do you mean? Like, what is it? How did that even happen? And then so in a like a sadistic way, it's almost like you're looking to those comments to actually validate your own insecurity or prove that you really don't belong there, even though there's the other side of you that wants to combat that. And it's like for every negative comment on the internet, I always had a response that I would, want to say to that person and be like, bro, we'd be like best friends. Like, take the fact that you don't like my raps or how I look or this or that or whatever the kid, like, take that out of it. Like, I see you like Cowboy Bebop, you like The Last of Us, you like all this shit. Like, we should be best friends, but you want to tell me to fucking kill myself and say all the shit about me because I don't know, I wore my hat to the side or some dumb shit like that. It's crazy. But once again, when you I haven't been on the internet, dude, in a really long time.
I wanted to ask you about that. I'm jealous. I'm thinking of following in your path. No Twitter, no Instagram, Reddit. You go on Reddit?
Sometimes I sneak to Reddit. Like every couple months, I'll go to Reddit because it's my fans are there and I love them and I go.
Oh, you go to your subreddit?
Yeah, I go to my subreddit. Yeah, so I'll just go there and just like kind of creep because sometimes fans write really sweet things and sometimes they write fucked up things too. And then it reminds me. That's why I love Twitch. I did see. On like some people were telling me that people were trying to say because I said that me going to Twitch is going to be so much better and it's going to be the best way for me to interact with my fans. And then all these people were like, well, looks like you've never been on Twitch before. Like, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I don't know public comments exist, but I'm going sub comments only. So it's like if I go sub comments only plus mods plus not being able to say negative words and all this other shit. It's funny because a lot of people would be like, oh, that's like pussy shit. Like, you have thin skin. You can't take it. Like, who wants to be called like, like negative shit all day?
Well, how is that helpful to anyone's enjoyment of the stream for people to just come in and
even
say
the people
mean
who
shit?
just want to have a fun time, it's going to ruin it for them.
It doesn't, But it's easy to say that, it's so unnatural to be on the receiving end of millions of people's opinions about you. Because again, one of the themes of your album is like, it used to be so easy to make raps when you were in the basement and you had the whole world ahead of you and no expectations. But now where you are with people having all these expectations of who you should be and so many opinions on you, it's not the same.
Yeah. Well, first of all, before I talk about that, I do want to say I'm really happy. Like, I am fucking happy. And I'm very comfortable with myself and I'm very comfortable in my own skin. And I think you can even notice that if you look at these interviews I've done recently, as opposed to like anything I've ever done before, I was always like trying to sell you that everything was okay and like life's great and all this shit when it really wasn't. But the reason I'm saying this right now is because not that we are. I just want people out there to know.
Sorry, dude. What is wrong with me today?
Bro, this is why people love you. Don't just embrace it. Embrace it.
Well, it's a little.
Anyway, I just want to say that, like, I don't believe that this conversation right now is focusing on negative. I think what we're doing, and I don't want it to be perceived that way by the viewers, I think what we're doing is just talking about shit that is starting to now be talked about more, which I appreciate it. But because this doesn't just affect creatives and famous people, it also affects everyday people who do things for likes or do things for comments or whatever to try to get that validation. So that's the only reason I'm even like really diving into this. Regarding what you just, what you just said, you're rubbing off on me. Yes, it's very difficult when, 10 years ago, nobody gave a shit about me and I wrote raps just to rap. Like, I just wrote to write and that was it. And it was fun. And it wasn't that simple. Now, knowing that millions of people, and songs will get billions of streams, it was a scary thing on this album because it's like, dude, everyone's gonna feel a way, and I took it all out of my head. That even though it would still, pop in, but not being on the internet, I didn't listen to any rap music at all, current rap music or anything while making this album. I just went from a place of like, okay, what's everything that I love? Because to me, this is it's like a love letter to hip hop. There's so many different samples from Erykah Badu to Outkast to, so many people, and nods and love and, showing love to Kendrick and Cole and all these people. But knowing that, is this line good enough? Like, is this a good line? Is this even worth it? I don't know. I have a line on the song called Aquarius 3 where I say, I remember window shopping Now I'm shopping for windows for my baby new room, Bobby coming soon. And that's the type of line I would have second guessed putting all my shit before.
I
Out
love
of
that
fear that they
line,
would
by the
hate.
way.
Yeah. Out of fear that they would hate because they couldn't relate because it wasn't relevant. Give a fuck if it's evident. This right here is the evidence. I'm like Leo and Revenant. Bear with me, dog. Like fucking feel what I'm saying. So to piggyback on what you were saying, sorry for talking so much. That was a very difficult thing to know that millions of people are going to analyze every single thing that I do, but to have the freedom and the strength to go, fuck it.